Good evening. What's Gucci, my people? It's your boy Flo Knight, independent artist out of NYC. Fuck with my SoundCloud page. That's Flo Knight, FLONIGHT. You can also follow me on all the social medias. It's Mr. Flo Knight, MRFLONIGHT. So there's another channel I'm doing on the side, because I'm a fan of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So I figure, I mostly fuck with music. I got a live stream I do in the morning called Bodega Run, where I talk about the current events and music, as well as the music I'm doing. Keeping the people updated, building a community, business. So this is something else I want to do that I've been doing. It's called a Hood Minister Show. Been doing this for a minute, but we're making it a separate channel. So subscribe, like, and share the videos. So I want to talk about the history of the Bronx. I'm up here right now, headed to a little shindig. I'm on Fordham Road, walking east on Fordham. And so, basically, the Bronx used to be part of Westchester County. Like where Yonkers, Mount Vernon, all that shit is. Upstate, basically, for people that's not from New York that don't know. Once you leave the Bronx, you go into like Yonkers and all that, where the Locks and all them is from. Mount Vernon, all that shit, New Rochelle, or Nauru, where like Brand Nubian is from. That's Westchester County, and the Bronx used to be part of that. Then what happened in the late 1800s, first the Bronx was divided into East Bronx and West Bronx. And the West Bronx became part of New York City first. And actually, speak of the West Bronx, all those neighborhoods in the northwestern Bronx, like Woodlawn and fucking Kingsbridge and Riverdale, those used to actually be part of Yonkers. Those was part of Yonkers, but then when New York acquired it, they changed it. And as a matter of fact, most of the neighborhoods in the BX were towns within Westchester County. You know what I'm saying? Like, matter of fact, West Farm Square. I used to live around there briefly. You know what I'm saying? For a year or two. It got its name because it was a subdivision of Westchester County. And then from that, other neighborhoods broke off as well. So the West Bronx became part of New York first. Then the East Bronx followed suit. And the Bronx, one thing interesting about the Bronx that I think people don't be realizing is that the importance of it, the strategic location of the Bronx, because it's actually a link between Manhattan and the New England area. Like Connecticut, Rhode Island, all that shit up that way, going all the way up to Maine. So even back in the days, Britain used to be having smoke over those bridges on the Harlem River that lead into the Bronx, because it deals with that commerce that goes into the New England area. So that was always a big thing. Speaking of which, as a matter of fact, the King's Bridge, which is now called Broadway Bridge, it's the bridge that when Broadway goes to the northern tip of Manhattan, and then it goes up into the Bronx. That's called Broadway Bridge, and it used to be called the King's Bridge because the king used to started charging these tolls on it till this dude Jacobus Dykeman came and gathered the people together to start up a free bridge. So I guess that's how he got a lot of shit named after him up there. Dyke. Everybody knows about Dykeman. So that's the story of that. You know what I'm saying? So then they killed the tolls on the Broadway Bridge, which back then was called the King's Bridge. So there's some interesting history on the Bronx. And I'm assuming most people know about how the Bronx got his name. Basically, it's Bronx. The dude's name was Bronx. And it was basically a bunch of farms, and he owned it. So you know how, like I say, You go into somebody's house and their last name is Johnson, you like, yo, I'm going to the Johnsons, or I'm going to the Huxtables, you dig, or I'm going to the Joneses. So when they would go to the Bronx, his name was Bronx, they would say, I'm going to the Bronx. So that's how the Bronx got his name. Also, Mott Haven was a dude who was basically an inventor, and he had a lot of iron workers working under him. So that's how he started Mott Haven, to house a lot of the iron workers that he had employed, as well as Mott Haven was also a like a mecca for piano building, piano manufacturing. So the South Bronx, or as it's technically called, Mott Haven, which is, as I said before in my other videos, everything below 149th Street from the Brooklyn to the Concourse. So that was that. So then in like the 60s and shit, and when they built Co-op City, a lot of people in the Bronx that had bread started moving up to the northern Bronx. And then it was born the whole thing about, oh, you know, the Bronx got a reputation for being grimy and gritty. So this goes back to even back then. When they built Co-op City, that really became evident. You know, like all the hood areas in the southern part, and the northern part is all the like decent areas or whatever. Then it got even worse in the 70s when a lot of landowners wanted to sell their buildings and shit like that, and they found it cheaper to burn them shits down. So that's how they used to, it was a running joke back in the day called, they say, the burnt down Bronx, which I take offense to. I was born in the Bronx, stinking Lincoln Hospital, you dig? So got love for the Bronx always, you know what I mean? But I got love for the whole city, but definitely got a special place in my heart for the Bronx. And but that's how that happened, because of that. It was a string of like landlords and shit burning their shit down. So and then that's just crazy, because it's even still to today, the Bronx got that reputation of just being grimy and gritty. But I always tell people, like, yo, if you really want to experience New York, come to the Bronx, because all these other boroughs done really got corporate for the most part. And you know, to really get that New York flavor, like New York flavor, not that touristy shit, you know what I'm saying, or people from other places and all that shit, the whole gentrification and all that, come to the BX. That's the way you can get the real New York flavor from. There's still pockets and shit in other boroughs, but for the most part, a lot of shit has been gentrified. So, you know, anyway, that's a little history on the Bronx. And we all know hip-hop started in the Bronx, in that same area called Mott Haven. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody in Mott Haven and then the whole BX. I hope I'm not forgetting nothing. But, yo, that's pretty much it. History of the BX, baby. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to my other YouTube channel as well as this one. Like, share, all that shit. I got some projects coming out. My 5th mixtape will be out in a few weeks, as well as a collaboration project I did with Dutch 40, an MC out of Newark, New Jersey. But I'm gonna catch y'all on the back end. One.